Today is June 24th, 2014, back with another watch list of exceedingly shitty potential plays. Um, this might be the first, they always talk about sell in May and go away and how the markets just kind of go to shit during the summer. This last kind of week, roughly week, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, has been the first time in my, kind of 5 to 7 years of trading actively that I've really seen that. Especially yesterday. Oh, yesterday was brutal. I mean, there were times I was like struggling to stay awake. But so keep that in mind as I go through these picks. I mean, none of these am I very much in love with. I have been making trades recently, but if you've watched some of the other videos, you've heard the same thing. I mean, it is just scalp and dig for a few $100 here. What I'm trying to avoid doing is what I have done in the past, and I think a lot of traders will do is when you start scalping like that, you start going in bigger position size. And that actually, I mean, in theory, it sounds good. You think, okay, I made $100 on 1,000 shares. If I would have had 3,000 shares, I would have made 300. Well, in my experience, that invariably fucking backfires. Well, usually it'll like work once, and you'll think, hey, great, I'll go in bigger. And then it doesn't work 10 times, and next thing you know, you look back at your trading log and over the week, and yeah, you made money on that first one, and the last 10 you've lost a cumulative $5,000 or something. So I'm really gonna fight to avoid that. And but anyway, that's the goal. So on to the picks. Today was another XGTI. This is kind of interesting. I saw this right at 8 o'clock. When it was at 3, thought about buying it, but, it's a military contract. I don't even know what these guys do, but it very quickly shot to 340, but then you see here it's coming right back. So even though I thought about buying it pre-market, I'm short biased on this now, as I usually am. So I'd like to see this thing, see what shakes out at the open. Hopefully it just kind of goes nowhere, and maybe I can catch a late day fade on this thing. But now that it has spiked and came back, there's no way I'm going long. I might have at 8 a.m., but not now. CAW, I don't know. I'm watching this for a short, basically on the price, as well as, they're just some lame cosmetics company, and they issued the standard press release where they're like, we don't know why our stock is up. Sometimes those can be decent shorts. I'm not excited about this. The volume isn't that great. I'd like to avoid this one if possible. NSPH, I almost shorted yesterday. In these is kind of when it spiked up, and then it kind of had an all-day fade, but a lot of chop, so I just stayed away. I'd like to short this, but again, the bummer is, it's in the 150s, and there's support down in the 140s. What are you going to take, 10 cents? GIGA, big one. I try and avoid, and I recommend this, is I try and avoid playing into earnings, but this thing's kind of a well-known carcass. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I swear to the holiest of holies, I almost shorted like 1,000 shares right at the close, but then there's earnings, and I'm just like, no. After that exceedingly boring day yesterday, I really felt like I was pressing and really felt like I was digging, so I said no. And then, of course, they release earnings, and it's just cratering. Right at like 4:01, it was down to $3. And today it's just, excuse me, it's down to 270. This thing will probably just fade. So that one bums me out because, but I, in hindsight, I think I made the right choice. Just not playing earnings. That's playing earnings is degenerate gambling, and you'll win one like this, and the next one you'll play earnings and you'll short it and it'll be up $1. So ISR is running pre-market as well. This thing, another kind of well-known piece of shit. I won't short pre-market. I'll buy pre-market. I try and do anything I can to not short pre-market. So this one is maybe the best watch right now. We'll kind of see what happens. I mean, it just has a history. Let me go back here. You know, it spikes and drops, spikes and drops, spikes and drops. Now this, it's kind of a little more, a little more healthy, for lack of a better term. Now, what you don't see on this is the pre-market action where it's up over 3. So another spike. I mean, another one of these. So basically, every spike fails. So I'll be watching this to short. So, good luck out there. Man, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but nothing great. But I'll be there and see what I can milk out of this market. So thanks a lot.